So, welcome back to yet another episode of Aging Strong with Hugo. Yeah, I know I've been away for so long, and I'm sorry, but life just gets in the way. And this is truly apology, to those that have been listening and to those that have been waiting. But yeah, sometimes life happens and you just get stuck with it. So, let's get into the show. So we kick in with this amazing intro. Thank you to my good friend Leonte and his amazing band Shelna and Volker. Please search them on YouTube and give it a like for their sound because with this intro, this can only be amazing. So let's go to the episode. So today I decided to talk a little bit about my morning routines. You can also call them a ritual. They There's a lot of things that I do that actually, if I miss them, kind of messes up with my day. So yeah. So before we dive into the episode, let's get some words from our sponsor. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by me. That's right. This podcast is brought to you by Hugo Martins Cervantes, my name in Amazon, where I publish all the journals I have created designed for fitness enthusiasts, athletes, and anyone looking to track their progress with purpose. Whether you're logging in workouts, setting new strength goals, or reflecting on your journey, my journeys help you stay on track and accountable. Want to check them out? Head over to Amazon and grab the perfect journal for your fitness and training needs. Also available gratitude journals. Now let's dive into the episode. So I'm glad you're back and that you didn't leave. Although publicity is part of the gig, especially taking into account that I am sponsoring all of this. So let me give you more or less of a way that I start my day. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm a morning person, so I wake up really, really early. When the alarm doesn't go on, I normally wake up between 5:30 and 6, depending on my tiredness. And so I get up and go to the kitchen and I start my day the following way. I have to take a lot of supplements. So normally I drink a shot of kefir, which helps with the biome that I have in my gut, or so I wish to think it does. Then I take some medicine and supplements, and then I prepare a coffee that can be just black coffee, but can also be cappuccino, homemade. And this is it. I've been trying on and off with intermittent fasting. So normally I don't eat anything until lunch. I'm back in doing that for a few weeks. But if I have to eat something, I will eat at something like 9. So I try not to eat in the first hours of the day. Of course, after I have the coffee, uh, something kicks in. So I have to go to the John, to the loo, to the bathroom, whatever you want to call it, depending where you are. And then my day gets going. I don't like working out in the morning, except on weekends, which is very, very weird. But yeah, in the morning I cannot. So I just go into work, then, just normal day. Now, the fun thing is that I'm gonna take you into my weekends. It's the same, Majo Jumbo. I just, start my day, take the pills, take the coffee, blah, blah. But in the weekends, something happens. I don't feel time pressed with working. So I just do all of the things I do on a normal week and I just go for sports. Normally, in my new house, I cannot start sports at the hour that I would like, which is, immediately after waking up. But so I wait for my neighbors to wake up, which is ridiculous, but well, I'm nice. I make a lot of noise. And so Everything going okay, I'll have a workout on Saturday. What is that workout all about? Well, my workout can be about kettlebells with some maces in the mix, can be exclusively just kettlebells, and can also be exclusively just maces and clubs. And I like to mix them because I do my workouts in a loading stage. So let's dig into the kettlebells per se. So first I do the warm up. It's a physical warm up, an activation warm up. That's 5 minutes. Second, by an Indian club workout of approximately 5 minutes. I take the light ones, so it's the plastic ones, half a kilo each, if I'm not mistaken, where I do 3 to 5 minutes of rotations in the shoulder so that I get things going. Then, if it's a kettlebell workout, I'm now currently using 3 kettlebells in my workouts, regardless of the day of the week or the time of the effort. So I go for the 16 first. The fix 16, I'll just get some squats and some movements. Of course, I'm always doing swing. With the 16s, I start with 2 hands. If I feel, strong, I might do some hand to hand, which I don't like because I feel the shoulder almost leaving the socket. So after the 16 is done, I jump. So that's going to be something like 2 or 3 workouts. I just jump into the 20 kilos where I do a few more segments. If I feel strong, I will do swings with the 20 kilos. If I don't feel strong, depending on the day or my back, I will do swings with the 16 and do the non explosive movements with the 20. After I feel comfortable, I pass to my 25, where I'm exclusively doing Romanian deadlifts, single hand or double hands, and I'm doing also row. And I'm loving the rows. I'm now doing 3 sets in every workout, regardless, with the 25 kilos, because I need to challenge, otherwise, things are repetitive. And this is, on a nutshell, the kettlebells. Of course, when I finish, normally I go and I do 5 minutes of ropes and some abs, or I just do the abs, or I just do the ropes. This, changes according to more or less where I am. And this is it for the kettlebells. Then cool down, shower, life goes on. Now let's imagine that it's a weekend of maces and clubs. Then things get a bit more complicated because so I take all the clubs out and all the steel maces out, and I will do this by ladder and by iteration of atom, which means normal 5 minutes dynamic warm up, 5 minutes plastic Indian clubs, light 5 minutes, just waking up things, and then after that, I jump into the workouts and I will start with 2 kilos steel clubs. I do some sets. Normally it's 3 to 4 in different sets, rotations, etc. After that, I will jump into the double 4 kilos steel club where I do also some sets. I also have some rests. And after I finish with the steel club, I will pass into the mace. With the mace, I will do a few 360s, both sides. I will combine some 360s with some squats, maybe some pushes to the back, nothing too much. Finish with the mace. I move to steel clubs 6 kilos. I repeat exactly the same exercises that I made for the 4 kilos. After that, with some rests, of course, it's double 6 kilos, don't forget. And then I go into my steel mace 6 kilos, where I actually do the same exercises that I did to the 4 kilos. And then we reach into what I consider the difficult part, which is double 8 kilos. I'm not there. I've been trying it for something like less than a month. I can see that I am totally not there. But I try doing the same exercises that I did for the 4 and the 6 kilos. And then after I do the 8 kilos, I will go into my competition steel mace of 7.5 kilos and I will just do 360s. And if I'm feeling strong, I might do some squats but I try not to because the idea is to be able to move to the 10 kilos and not be too tired. 10 kilos still mace. So after I finish with this 7.5 kilos, of course, with some rests, normally I try doing something like four 360s, two for each side, depending on how strong I am. But by this moment, I'm already becoming a little bit tired, which means that then I will jump to a 10 kilos steel club. I only have one, so I will do single hand, which means I will start actually with a squat, squat to swing. Then I will do some side movements because I only have one, with some rests, of course. I rest and then I prepare myself for the 10 kilos. The 10 kilos steel mace, I will only do 360s. I try doing 30 seconds. I'm not counting the movements, I'm just trying to keep it up and we do good technique. Since this was a lot of rotation, especially on the joints, upper joints, once I finish all of this, I might go for the ropes to get some cardio, some abs. It depends on how I feel because normally when I get to the 10 kilos, I'm on the verge of having an asthma attack. So I might not be able to continue. If I manage, I will do those. I will come back and I will do the cool down. My cool down in the maces is actually also involving a 2 kilos steel club in each hand where I do some rotations. So I just put myself like the Leonardo da Vinci, body image, and I try rotating my wrists to the front and to the back so that I counter clockwise the tendons in all my arms. And this has actually worked to impede me to feel some tendon and elbow pain after doing maces. It's actually interesting. I got this from Coach Vaughn, if I'm not mistaken. Big thank you for his YouTube video because it actually works. You can also do some interesting movements with steel maces that he recommends, but I consider that I get the job done with a steel club of 2 kilos, and I'm pretty okay. No pains at all. So I gave you two sets of exercises or tools, functional tools. Something that I started trying out, I would say this month, is also incorporating some steel maces on my kettlebell workouts. Why? Well, because I noticed that something like for more than a month almost that I don't do the steel maces, this full workout that I described. Why? Because I have to carry everything to my yard, which is in the first floor, and it's a pain because then I have to bring them all down. And we need to keep in mind that I'm very lazy. So I've been doing only kettlebells because they are all out and it's easier. I noticed that I also have steel maces out, so you can now follow the logic. And it's very interesting that for a lazy guy, having all the tools in front of you kind of forces you to do stuff. So, what I started doing, which I'm actually enjoying, it takes me something like half an hour to do all of this, maybe 40 minutes, depending on how long I take my breaks, etc. Let me see if I can guide you. Same warm up, 5 minutes. Same second warm up, Indian clubs, lightweight, 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. Sheena board, forgot to mention Sheena board. Cannot live without one. Made by me, beautiful, but it does the job. That helps me with some stretches, and my back is not my strong link. So after I do this, I will start with the 4 kilos. Yep, I go for the 4 kilos mace where I do 360s. I will do two sets of 360s. Yeah, maybe four, depends on the day. I might do some 360 to squat, which I actually like because I need to use my legs. I might do it. After that, I will jump into the steel mace of 6 kilos. I will do again 360s, might do some squat, depends on my mood. And then Yes, I jump into kettlebells. So in the kettlebells, it will, be the normal thing. So I will start with 16 kilos. I will do some squats. I will do some swings. Pretty okay. Then I move to 20 kilos. It's just an introduction. I don't like starting directly with the 20 kilos, especially because my first exercise with kettlebells, it's always a squat. And I really don't like to feel a huge, weight while doing a squat as the first exercise. So it's just placebo or, psychological effect. I don't care. But this is what I do. So then I move to 20 kilos. And then if I feel like my back is complaining, I will insert some steel mace of 6 kilos where I will do some 360s with squats because it forces me to go down. I actually find a correlation between steel maces and back pain because it forces you to be really straight. So I think it really helps. But this is my input and my feeling. So take it, with a pinch of salt. And and so that's it. So then I go for the 25, where I will do, Romanian deadlift. I will do, I'll do some rows, and then I'm gonna go down, which is where I have the ropes. I'll do 5 minutes of ropes. I'll do some abs, cool down, shower. I'm good to go. And that's it. I mean, in 15 minutes, I managed to give you something like three different ways of incorporating functional training. I hope I didn't bore you, and I hope you like this. So, stay strong, stay healthy, and see you in the next one.